And Jared Pulver, the rarely seen Jared Pulver, is here today and going to introduce today's topic.
Thanks, President Rachel. Appreciate the introduction and the dig, but probably warranted. I didn't know this was going to be at my disposal, so I might have changed my material. Um, so anyway, why we're here is to have our annual meeting with Medford Rogue Rotary Foundation. So I'll call that meeting to order. I'm Jared Pulver, as mentioned. I'm standing in for our current foundation president, Pat Berry. They kind of gave me a lot of freedom to say whatever I wanted to. So hopefully most of what I say is true. And if there's any complaints, you can see Pat when he gets back from vacation. So one of the most important things I've learned over the time being a part of the foundation and attending a few of these meetings is just to highlight the fact that you guys are all members of the Medford Rotary Foundation itself. So I think that's important to understand that. I think there's sometimes a misconception of what is the foundation doing? How do you even get to be a part of it? As you hear some of the things about it and you hear from some of our scholarship recipients, if it seems like it's something that speaks to you that you like to spend some time doing, I'm sure some of our longer standing members like Pat Barry or Bob Hunter or Roger Stokes would gladly like some additional help or maybe even look to pass it on. So anyway, if it is something that speaks to you, we're always looking for additional hands. It's certainly not any sort of exclusive thing. So lots of papers on your tables. If you have an opportunity to peek at them, it'll speak to some of the things we're talking about today. There's some financials in there that Roger handles. He's our foundation treasurer. Basically, what I would describe the foundation as doing in its local sense is sort of a holding place for some of our local fundraisers for things like when we raise money for connecting with kids or for World Community Service, a local project that we're involved in. We hold the funds in the foundation and then distribute them when appropriate. So those financials are on the table and you can see some of that activity. The bigger thing that we do and what we're here for today to sort of celebrate and acknowledge is that the foundation awards a number of college scholarships to graduating seniors throughout the Rogue Valley. We've been awarding scholarships for over 40 years, and in that time, over $3 million of scholarships have been awarded to almost 500 individual students. So a lot of good's been done over a long time here. And as will be referenced later, that's something that the foundation, through the help of the Oregon Community Foundation, hopes to do for years and years and years to come. So really proud of that. The scholarships were made possible through generous contributions from our members, our Rotary members. There's also a handout on the table that identifies the various sub funds that make up the balance of our fund. You'll notice some names on that list. I know Ron Warland's here. He's a part of that. Sid DeBoer, Wally Iverson have been big contributors over the years to help fund this balance. And then in more recent years, which I don't think other than Rogers created a fund, which was really special, as well as the Evans family and the Scene family. So if you do see them, give them a thank you. I don't think they necessarily are looking for that, but it's pretty cool that all they've done to help make that fund available so that we can fund these scholarships. So if you do see them again, give them some praise because I think it's warranted. On that sheet, it will show our sub funds total almost $4 million. And so it's quite a pool of money that the foundation, the Oregon Community Foundation, is managing to help grow so that we can continue to keep that core intact and then have the funds to fund our scholarships. We've been in partnership with the Oregon Community Foundation since 1999. I wasn't part of Rotary back then, but I think as I understand it, the fund started to grow to a level that it just made sense to have somebody else handle it. And so we've been in partnership with them for quite a while. And so somebody who knows more about the whole situation that I'm going to turn it over to at this point is Matthew Goldfeder. He's going to talk to us about our partnership and about kind of the state of affairs of kind of the post-secondary world. But Matt's Oregon Community Foundation Senior Program Officer for Scholarships and Post-Secondary Education. Can we get a few more words in that title?
I know. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. They just keep keeping more on me in the hopes that we'll just solve it all. And thanks, Jared, for essentially just stealing my speech, right? As what more do you need to know? I think you need to know that just how proud Oregon Community Foundation is to partner with you folks to do this, right? We've been doing this with you all for 26 years. It's been more than 40 that you've been doing it overall. And let's just talk about the impact on this community and the communities in Jackson County that this has had, right? We're talking about, let's see, I just pulled up the numbers right now just to try and understand this. It's almost 1,000 now individual scholarships that have been awarded just in the 26 years that we've been partnering together, right? That's a total of $2.6 million that has entered these communities from these individual scholarship recipients who've completed their certificates, completed their programs, earned their degrees, and have come back now into communities to join as the next generation of people to select recipients. And I'm so proud to be here with a colleague of mine at the foundation, works in the Medford office, who's a former Medford Rogue Rotary Foundation scholarship recipient herself, who's gonna speak some wonderful words in a minute. Way more impactful than what I'm going to talk about. But I'm just going to put myself out there and say, look, we've been working hard on these issues as a community for a long, long time, and they're not going away. Post-secondary education is still too expensive. Post-secondary education is still not accessible enough to the young people in our communities or those coming back later in lives to improve their lives in their communities. And we need to do more. And this scholarship program is doing a whole heck of a lot. And stay tuned and come talk to me anytime you want to talk to me, because my whole job is here to make that a reality, because our communities are only going to be uplifted together when more people are getting education at whatever point in life it is. So, like, hi everyone. This is Guillermina, and Guillermina works in our Medford office, and take it away.
Thank you, Matthew. I'm a little shorter than most that have been up here, but good afternoon, everyone. My name is Guillermina Hernandez, and I'm proud to be a first-generation college graduate and a mother of two, and someone whose journey was deeply shaped by the power of financial support and community. College is expensive, and everyone knows that. And not just in terms of tuition, it's books, rent, childcare, groceries, and the constant wait of wondering how you'll make it all work. I know this because I've lived it. While I was in college, I became a mother twice. I was juggling textbooks and toddlers, deadlines, and daycare, all in the middle of a pandemic at the home stretch of my education. And I'll be honest, there were moments when finishing college felt impossible, but I didn't do it alone. Scholarships made the difference. Financial aid wasn't just money, it was time with my daughters, the ability to focus on school, and the hope that I could graduate. It was someone saying, "We believe in you," at exactly the moment I needed it most. My family also stood by me, helping in big ways and in small. From late night pep talks to helping with childcare, their support, along with financial help I received, made the impossible possible. Today, I work at the Oregon Community Foundation, where I get to be a part of something incredible, helping others access the kind of support that changed my life. Before this, I worked in education, and I saw firsthand how barriers like costs can shut down students before their journey even begins. That's why scholarships matter. They open doors. They don't just help students afford college, they help build stronger families, stronger communities, and a strong future for us all. So if you've ever contributed to a scholarship fund, advocated for education, or simply believed in someone who needed it, big thank you. You may never know the impact of your support, but I do. I'm living proof. Just one of many who have big dreams and the determination to achieve them. So once again, thank you to you all.
Hi there. I guess I'm the right height. Anyway, you've heard some things so far today about our scholarship program, et cetera. And in a few minutes, you're going to be hearing from just a few of this year's Medford Road Rotary Foundation scholarship recipients. These are graduates of some of the high schools in our area, and they're part of our traditional Medford Road Rotary scholarship program. You've heard a couple folks say that this program has been around since 1983. In those 43 years, almost $3 million has been distributed to almost 500 students. But first, before you meet these few of these students today, I want to take a couple of minutes to introduce Anna Kukaris. I think that's right. Anna's background is a little bit different. Anna's part of our newer non-traditional scholarship program. She's in the third group of these type of scholarship students, and we'll be adding some more this summer. These are the folks that really didn't have the opportunity to move on to college directly from high school. They had some other issues. Maybe they weren't ready. Maybe had financial situation. But these are the folks that, when they graduated, started their lives. They went into the workforce, started families, etc., without the benefit of any post-secondary education. But now, after, and a lot of times in many, many years after they graduated, they're ready to start over. They need to upskill in their current career or maybe start a new one. And they understand that education is a big part of realizing their potential. But one challenge for this particular group of students is finding financial help to make that work, generally in the form of scholarships and grants. For this group of students, it's a whole lot more difficult than it is for graduating high school seniors. It's hard enough for them, but for this group, there are a lot of programs just not available to them. So somehow these non-traditional students are trying somehow to fit their classes around their full-time work schedule, their family responsibilities. It somehow seems overwhelming. But several years ago, with the help of Heidi Bender and the good folks at the Oregon Community Foundation and the awesome staff at the RCC Foundation, we developed a little bit different program. We call it the non-traditional scholarship programs to help address that issue. I'd like to introduce one of those students right now. Anna Kukaris is a single mother. She's currently working with children with developmental disabilities. Maybe I fit in that category. She's also a student at Road Community College. She's studying for degrees in family support services and early childhood education. I'll let Anna tell you about her journey and what her plans are for the future. Anna?
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Kukaris, and I am a current recipient of the Medford Rotary Stokes Family Scholarship. I am privileged to have been asked to express my gratitude for receiving this scholarship to the Medford Rotary Club and explain how this opportunity has impacted on my ability to continue my education. I will start by telling you about the journey that brought me here to RCC in the first place. My current college experience is the third time I have completely restarted and rebuilt my life from the ground up. I spent my first 10 years as the firstborn child of a young biologist and a stay-at-home mother. I had what many would consider an idyllic childhood. I learned to read at 3, excelled in school, and spent weekends and summers with friends, playing in the forests, riding my bike in the dirt road neighborhoods of Wasilla, Alaska. As a young girl, it seemed I had all the opportunities in the world. My future was looking bright. At the age of 10, my world changed forever. My family was ripped apart by divorce. Despite me very rarely witnessing an argument between my parents, I was taken to live in San Diego, California, a new world full of cousins, aunts, and uncles I barely knew existed. I struggled trying to fit into this new environment beginning middle school as an awkward Alaskan preteen. Almost immediately, my mother disappeared from my life, drawn into the world of drugs, alcohol, and men that she had left to avoid in the first place. My teen years that followed were largely unsupervised, full of neglect, strange people in and out of the tumble-down houses we occupied. I entered high school working hard to be an A student with little encouragement other than the threat of violence for bad grades. There was very little adult supervision or structure in my life, and I struggled greatly with depression and anxiety. With no one to guide my way, I simply coasted through high school, graduating with a 4.0 GPA, but with no intention of a college education. I had stopped believing in my capabilities long ago. I could not imagine myself in a place so grown up, so complicated, and surrounded by people as knowledgeable as I imagined college students to be. I was 19 years old and unemployed when I found myself pregnant with my first child. I quickly discovered that my chosen partner was verbally and physically abusive, and by the age of 21, I made the decision to leave with my two toddlers, ages 3 and 1. It was time to start over. I found myself a single mother living in Boise, Idaho, far away from family, friends, or any support system. To support my family, I worked as a CNA and a housekeeper on the side. Soon we had a nice apartment, a pool, and a quite comfortable life. Our house became the hangout spot for the neighborhood children, full of laughter and friends. I started a housekeeping business, building my clientele through word of mouth recommendation. I was successful enough to only work part-time, able to be at home in the afternoons with my children and their friends. We lived happily in Boise until 2015, when at the age of 37, I suddenly fell ill. Despite my best intentions and my previous successes, I could no longer hide the fact that I had been steadily increasing my drinking habits since my mother had passed in 2005. In 10 short years, the doctors explained, I had managed to go from an extremely functional alcoholic into end-stage liver cirrhosis. I proceeded to rapidly lose my home and the ability to work, and my cousin came from Medford, Oregon, to bring myself and my children to be near hers. On May 1st, 2017, I drank myself into a 3-day coma from which I was not expected to survive. I've been told my children said goodbye to me. When I awoke, I was coldly told by a doctor while I was alone in a hospital room that I had 3 months to live. He quickly left. I cried for about a minute. And then I remembered that my own doctor had told me about getting a liver transplant. The odds were slim, but Dr. Jessica Diaz believed in me. She was confident, so I was too. I would get a new liver. It was time to start over. What happened next happened very quickly as my health began to deteriorate rapidly. Over the next 18 months, I faced multiple illnesses, including liver cirrhosis, sepsis, and liver cancer. 2 different instances of life-threatening C. diff infection caused lengthy hospitalization. I developed a rare terminal lung disease, which led me to become oxygen dependent. I developed double cataracts and diabetes. I do not know the exact odds of receiving a liver in the US, but I do know that some 12,000 people were on that list when I received my new liver in July of 2018. I was given a most precious gift, and it is my intention to use this new opportunity to the fullest. Today, I am employed full-time, working with children living with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and I am in school at RCC studying family support services, working towards an associate's degree. I will graduate in spring 2027. It is my hope that by obtaining this degree, I can help to empower and support the young families of our community who might also be struggling with issues of substance abuse, domestic violence, or homelessness. The Stokes Family Scholarship and the Medford Rotary Scholarship have had a profound impact on my life, offering financial relief, but most importantly, reminding me that I am not alone in this journey and that others believe in my potential to make a difference. This scholarship affirmed that my goals are valid and achievable as an adult returning to school while working and overcoming health challenges. Scholarships for adult learners are vital because they recognize the unique responsibilities we carry, whether that be supporting a family, overcoming obstacles, or changing careers. Despite these extra challenges we face as adult learners, we are committed to bettering ourselves, our families, and our communities. When you invest in an adult learner, you are not just changing our lives, but the lives of younger generations that we influence. These scholarships provide the support we need to pursue education with dignity and determination. Your support tells us that our past doesn't define our future, that we are seen, valued, and worth investing in. Because of this scholarship, I am one step closer to achieving my dream of helping vulnerable children and families in our community. Your generosity inspires me to strive for excellence. I want to thank you for allowing me the chance to once again start over. Thank you.
Thank you both for sharing your stories. I think that's um, it just makes the fact that we get to be a part of that journey is awfully special. Bob Hunter and John Geller are going to come up now. They're going to introduce a couple of our traditional scholarship recipients that were able to be here today. So come on down.
Technology is not my thing, so got to check with those guys. We have 4 students here today out of 8 scholarships were given. The other folks are traveling or otherwise. One is on wants to be an EMT when he graduates, and he's on a ride along this morning with an EMT crew. Or this afternoon. So we thought that was probably a good idea. I will do the first introduction, and then John has 3 to introduce. I'll start with Luis Ortiz. Step over here. Luis just graduated from Phoenix High School. He's had a busy life already, much of it involving work. He attributes that work ethic to the example set by his parents, and in fact began working alongside his father while still in grade school. 9 years old, is that right? 9 years old, out working in the field. He's continued working while attending school, most recently at Hawaiian Hut, where he's still working this summer. And he put in 25 hours a week on a regular basis while attending school. He also helps his family, friends, and others in the Latino community by serving as a translator for those who need some assistance. He says there's nothing he wouldn't do for his family, and his work became even more important after his family lost their home in the Alameda fire. That tragedy, he says, taught him thankfulness and humility as he and his family slowly put their lives back together. He does get to have some fun. He's a soccer player. Good job. As a former soccer coach and ref, and sort of a soccer player. He applied that, he says modestly that he didn't have all these great skills, great natural aptitude, but that hard work and commitment made a difference and allowed him to be successful. And indeed, he must have been successful because he was the captain of both the junior varsity team and later the varsity team at Phoenix High School. And he's passing on those commendable traits by coaching a U12 girls soccer team. So, Luis, tell us what you're going to do in college and what your career plans are after that.
I'm gonna go to SOU down in Ashland. I want to study in physical therapy.
Why did you pick physical therapy?
I just love being around sports, and especially I really like to help other people, and I feel like I could help a lot of people, like rehabilitate, heal.
Thank you very much. I'm going to pass this on to John. First, I want to say thank you to John. We had a family medical situation that caused me to be out of town for about 2 weeks during the crunch time here for the scholarship process. And John took over and did an admirable job and brought us home. And now I'll let him put the final cap on it here.
Thank you, Bob. I did get my Zoom merit badge. My pleasure to introduce 3 students. Start with my far left, Sailor Endicott. She was an exemplary student at North Medford High School with a 4.2 adjusted GPA. She had A's in AP English, Calculus, Physics, History, Economics, and Government. Her activities include golf team, student government, honor society, and volunteer peer mentoring. She's overcome family challenges and is working 20 hours weekly as a barista. Why don't you tell us about college plans and hopes for career?
I will be going to Oregon State next year, and I'm planning on studying bioengineering. This is a field I've always been really attracted to. I was a little scared off because I've only heard it's super hard, but I thought I'd take the challenge and explore this field that's just still growing and changing so much. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Next is Raina Piajo-Kern. She's an outstanding student, has been an outstanding student at Phoenix High School with 3.9 GPA. She received A's in physics, algebra, chemistry, and AP language and composition. Her activities included marching band, Black Student Union. She was student body president and on the tennis team. She's also overcome family challenges. She's through high school working 40 hours a week, 4,000 hours while matriculating high school among Dairy Queen, Human Being, Subway supporting family. Raina, tell us about your college plans and career hopes.
I will be attending RCC to get my RN in nursing. And then hopefully, after I'm done with that, I will attend OHSU up in Portland and get a pediatric nursing degree.
Thank you, Raina. Wonderful. And Caitlin Ames, I'd like to introduce. My fault, I didn't get all the information down, so this will be shorter than some of the others, but she also is an outstanding student at Phoenix High School. She's relatively new to the Valley at Phoenix. She was on the tennis team and has been working at Human Being, also work and study. So tell us about college and career plans.
I'm going to attend Grand Canyon University in Arizona, and I'm going to get my RN, and then I hope to come back here to the Rogue Valley and work as a flight nurse for Mercy Flights.
So we're pleased to present these wonderful students. Spoke a few weeks ago about community health, and most important thing is social determinants of health, what actually makes a community healthy. And one of the determinants is how well the different generations get along, the youth, the middle-aged, and the older folks, and how well, not necessarily our families, we all support each other. So I'm pleased and proud to be part of this club, support the younger generation, and let's keep this going. Thank you.
I would add one thing here. I'll get in here. You can take the picture while I talk. This is a smaller group this year. We have 8 scholarships total, and often we'll have 12, 13, 14 scholarships. There's kind of a good reason for this. All of our students that are on scholarship remained in school this year. We didn't have any vacancies open up, so that's a good thing. Thank you.
For the students that came today, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys sharing your stories. You guys make me feel old for a lot of reasons, but one of them is how forward thinking you are, and that you're looking at your future and your plans so thoroughly already at this point. So it's really exciting and proud to see that happening. Ben Klein is up next. He's going to be talking to you about some of our trustees that are leaving us and hopefully electing a new slate.
It's my pleasure to host the election portion of our foundation meeting. But first, we'd like to recognize our retiring trustees. Is Kumar Basin here? A long-serving member of the foundation board and has a scholarship after him as well. So thank you, Kumar, for your years of service. And also leaving the board will be Angeli O'Connor, because she has to work on her president-elect duties. So I don't see Angela here, but in their absence, let's give them a quick round. Thank you for your service. Replacing them will be Doug Schmore. Doug, I think I saw you. Thank you, Doug. And Kelly Soder in the back. Thank you, Kelly. They'll be fulfilling the remaining of those terms. And the terms of the trustees go for 3 years. And next we will put forward our nominations for the next cycle, if you will. First, we have the nominees, 4 nominees. We have John Gell, we just saw. Tara Milan, I believe she's here today. Jared Pulver, and Roger Stokes. So those are our 4 nominees. As members of the foundation, if I could get a yay or a nay. All in favor, say yay. Nays? Carries. We got 4 new members. Thank you. And that'll be it.
I was hoping for a different outcome there, but you guys didn't come through. So at this point, we just wanted to open up the floor to questions for anything related to the foundation. I don't know that I'll necessarily be able to answer them, but I'm happy to try or defer to my fellow trustees that are here. Okay, you're going to make it easy on us? Okay, well, with that, we will adjourn the meeting of the Rotary Foundation, Medford Rotary Foundation, and turn the club meeting back over to President Rachel.
Hey, thank you, Jared, and thank you to our foundation members for being here. Thank you to all the student recipients. So a tradition in our club is to thank our speaker for the day with a donation of a book to the Smart Reader program, who we support. And so typically we have the speakers sign the inside cover. So if all of you scholarship recipients would please, at the end of the meeting, come on up. Oh, we're going to pass it around. Today's book is The Scale of the Solar System. So yeah, we'll get that into the hands of a smart reader. So we're going to get out of here a little bit early because I don't have any other announcements, but we are dark next week. So the 3rd week of the month, we don't meet, but we'll see you back here 2 weeks from today. So if there's nothing else, all right, let's go share the magic of Rotary. We are adjourned.